the 2 C's of resilience. I want to give away my experience with resilience so you don't have to go through the eye of the needle every time, okay? You don't have to just pick yourself up again. You can train yourself in anticipation of it all hitting the fan to be buoyant, to be big, to be badder than anything that comes your way, okay? We're going to start with connect. Yes, we can do these things, connect and charge, once we've fallen down. But the real Resilience 2.0 is about being able to do it in anticipation of something going wrong. Being able to do it now, while things are the way things are. I can't presume the way they are for you. But we'll start with connection. In my own story, there was the connection of Oba and Oji, the grandparents, that frankly, I don't know where I would be without them, and the principle of wabi-sabi. But then there was the unlikely connection there with the woman in the restaurant. But I want you to look, there are relationships, profound connections that we've had over time that make all the difference, whether or not we've recognized them to ourselves or anybody else. But I want to give you a chance to make this present for yourself by just take a moment and bring to mind somebody that's made all the difference for you. Just bring them to mind. Thank you. Now bring somebody else to mind that's also made a difference for you. And what you'll find, given we're talking about resilience, is sometimes the difference wasn't necessarily a positive one, but you emerged positive on the other side. Okay, thank you. Now bring to mind a third person. Thank you. So I want to give you a chance. We've got little worksheets here. It's got my photo on it. Turn to the other side. The first exercise on the 2 C's of resilience is connect. So here's what I want you to, we're not going to write just yet. Thank you for sharing your pens. That's very generous. Thank you. So we're not going to write just yet. I want you to start to speculate for a moment, okay? So with regard to connect, making connections, deep connections, relationships that matter, start to think of who are people with whom you'd like to develop a relationship. Now, it could be somebody you've noticed or admired at work, somebody in a different context. It might be somebody you've been meaning to call for 6 months, but haven't. It could be somebody you loved once, but you've lost touch with them. You're going to Google them, find them on LinkedIn, whatever it is. So take a moment now and write down 3 people that you're going to connect with, that you're going to create some connection, build some connection with. The bonus exercise is to list 6. Now, in a moment, I'm going to ask you to share in small groups, so if you want to write in code, go ahead. Please do that now. Take time and write down at least 3 names of people you want to build connections with. Who'd like a little more time? In a moment, I'm going to pair you. I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself to your group. But before I do, because this could be a cool opportunity to connect, a little aside, there's one of the things I also do is I work with victims of trauma. I do some pro bono work with victims of extreme trauma and help them to the other side. And I find that they're a great role model for us in terms of being resilient. And one of the things that invariably makes the difference is to connect with people when we face challenges. We're tribal beings. And the irony is when we face challenges, we tend to isolate. So building connections of all kinds really matters. So I want to encourage you to use this this little microcosm of being here at your table as an opportunity right here, right now to build connections. So I want to give you a moment to introduce yourselves, and as a little bonus, you could say some wabi-sabi thing. I'm not saying you to talk about being abducted or anything, but it's like, oh, wow, hey, something. Something that reveals something about who you are, what matters to you. There's an opportunity to really connect in that regard. It's funny, as I ask you to look at sharing wabi-sabi type things, like the thing, in other words, what I mean by that in the real world is like the things you might normally hide. Like, oh, I don't find myself, I'm such an introvert, I don't usually go to these things. I mean, even something like that. Oh, everybody who's an introvert goes, oh God, me too. There's a way to connect and relate to people. What I mean by doing this in your day-to-day life is looking for opportunities to connect and find connections that matter, is not to trauma share. Oh, you think that's bad? Whew, let me tell you about this one. Nothing like that, or I'm not advocating that you become the person at work who shares far too inappropriately, far too much. But rather, you're standing outside waiting for a meeting to happen. Somebody says, how are you? Authentically answering, as opposed to, good, yeah, good, you? Okay, shall we? A moment, connect. So I'll give you a moment to do that with your groups now. Please do that now. May I have your attention? One of the requests from the event organizers, which is a great one, is for you to have a conference call with your group between now and, Nadia, is it the end of the month? Yeah, between now and the end of the month. Meaning it's an opportunity for you to continue this connection even further. And I recommend also that you pair up like an accountability partner with somebody here, one or two people, depending on how many people are at your table, if it's an odd or even number, and have a call with them individually as well. So I want to give you a moment to orchestrate that, and then we'll come back and do the next exercise, okay? Please do that now. That was pretty awesome connecting, right? Okay, acknowledge each other. Yay! I invite you to deepen the connections you started here today. Please come back to this conversation so we can do the next exercise, okay? I love it. You guys are taking photos of each other already. I love it. Okay, come on back. I want to give you charge, okay? I want to give you the exercise charge. Charge your batteries. So again, how many of you can see that you go around on empty batteries a lot of the times? You're just not charged up? Okay. Doing, giving, working, do. So this is an exercise that you can do to become more resilient, like it's your job. Like it's your job. And sometimes when I give this exercise to clients, they'll go, well, that's kind of self-centered, isn't it? No, you can't pour from an empty cup. Fill you. It's like the airplane analogy, put your mask on first so you can help others. Take this on like that. So it's in order to do the exercise called charge, we're going to create your proven practices list. Proven practices list. Now, what do I mean by proven practices? They're proven to you. It's not like there are some inherent proven practices out there. But what I want you to look for is, what are the practices that you can do, things that you do of any kind, that put you in touch with who you are, that fill you up, that return you to a grounded, centered place. And I'll give you some fun examples of things in a minute, but I'd like to just have you raise your hands, and I'll call on you a few things if you're clear. What are some of those things, practices that you do that fill your batteries? Yeah. Walking in nature, beautiful, great one. Getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Thank you. Random trips to the beach. Great. Yes. Talking to random people at coffee houses. Love it. Meditation. Thank you. Writing. Wonderful. Thank you. Journal. Wine and cheese. Anyone? Okay. Yes. Yes. Listening to your children and feeling their joy and enjoying their joy. Let me come over here to you guys. Yes, in the blue. Yoga. Morning coffee and quiet time. Meeting up with a friend one-on-one. Way in the back. Having a date with yourself. Awesome. I don't even need to give you examples. One more. Helping someone. Beautiful. You were going to say volunteering. Beautiful. Okay, so even though I'm calling it your proven practices list, not everything works every time. You may be going through the eye of the needle and find that meditation, you just can't right now. You can't jog, you can't meditate, you're going to have to come up with something else. Which is why we've got these handy dandy lots O lines down here. I want you to come up with at least 6. At least 6. Do that now. Okay, thank you. My suggestion is that you continue adding to this list. I recommend sometimes with clients that they come up with as many as 25, which may seem like a huge amount, starting with 6. But the recommendation is this. This is the part that correlates to resilience, okay? Do at least one every single day. Every single day. Every single day. That way you operate with your batteries full, and when your batteries are full, you're less apt to get knocked down in life. You guys, please stay with me. Please stay with me. I know you've created awesome connections, which is great. But stay with me. There's still more to come. So take on one every single day, again, like it's your job. That will help you weather challenge, change, uncertainty. When you've done whatever those items of self-care are, whatever fills your tanks, whatever fills your batteries, that helps you not be brittle when challenges come, okay? So, all right, on the other side of this card, please turn it over. I want to stay connected with you. Connection, you'll find for a lot of you, is a way to charge. It's definitely one of my ways to charge. So I want to stay connected with you. And at the bottom here, here's how we can connect. On my website, CherylHunter.com, if you go to CherylHunter.com/Mesa, M-E-S-A, there are a couple different things. One, when you enter your name and email address, I'll send you a free copy of my book, How to Get Unstuck, which will deepen the work we started today. And 2, Inga, stand up at the back for a moment. This is one of my head coaches at the Hunter Group, phenomenal coach, Inga Estes. And we are going to give 2 free one-to-one coaching sessions when you enter. We'll choose them randomly and send it out via email so you know, okay? So take your phone out, go to CherylHunter.com/Mesa and do that right now, and we'll connect, okay? I'll give you a second to do that right now before handing it back over to Nadia. One moment. Who'd like a moment? Oh, we must be crashing my website. If only I knew some people in tech. Okay. Someone just told me we're crashing my website. I'm not used to that many visitors at once. You could, if you weren't able to get in and do that, you'll be taking that with you. Opt in, because we really want to give away, like I said, 2 free one-to-one coaching sessions with one of our awesome Hunter Group coaches. And I would like to give you the book as well and stay connected, most importantly. thank you for your time and your generosity. It's been a privilege to be with you. Connecting is one of my ways to charge. Handing it back over to you, Nadia. Thank you.